Hello and welcome. I'm Charles Aitid. Of course, this hour we are barely 24 hours away from new transport fares this Saturday, as road transport operators have concluded negotiations on the increment in fares, pegging the percentage increase at 15%. Now, these fares include fares for shared taxis, intra-city, which are trotro and intercity long-distance vehicles. Earlier, the transport unions proposed a 30% upward adjustment. But after a meeting today, Monday, of course, the operators have agreed to increase public transport fares by 15%. Now, the increment, according to the group, is in line with the administrative arrangement on public transport fares, and after intense negotiations with stakeholders and the consideration of the plight of their drivers, commuters, and the general public. Well, we're joined via phone by the head of public relations at the GPLTU, Imoro Abbas, on this development. Imoro, help us understand, our preparations, of course, underway.
Hello.
Imoro, welcome to the program. Tomorrow, we're going to be seeing transport fares increase. How prepared is GPLTU for this?
Oh, we are more than prepared because we came out from Monday, or even if Tuesday up to today, Friday, we've spoken to most of the electronic and print media just to get prepared so that the passengers will acquaint themselves with the current new fares. The drivers will also do the same. So I strongly believe there won't be any quarrel at all, since we've given ample time and we've come out with more education on the new fares.
But how then are we to ensure that the price, spread is going to be even across all bus stations, so that even though it's 15% increase, we're not going to be experiencing cases where some bus stations are charging over the mark?
We have also told our people to display the new fares in the vehicle so that anybody who has any doubt will see it that, yes, this is what I'm supposed to pay. So we ask all the drivers also to display the new fare in the vehicle.
Just before you leave, Imoro, we're having this discussion in the wake of oil prices shooting up, beyond the $100 per barrel mark. This definitely is expected to have a toll on, of course, fuel prices in Ghana in the coming, weeks, if not days. COPEC is predicting an increase by 8 cedis, 85 pesos at the pounds per barrel in days to come. How is this going to really help, affect transport fares moving forward?
Yes. We've been saying we have a threshold of 10%, but there was no documents to that. And at times, we have to sacrifice to about 30% upward adjustment, etc., etc. But this time around, yes, some of our people are saying the 15% we allow is inadequate, but by then, we'll be able to document that. So anytime it moves up on that 10%, the threshold will now work. Imagine within 1 month or 6 months, the fuel gets to 8.8%. A liter price gets to 8.8. Automatically, we have to come out with an upward adjustment in lorry fare. So this is how it is now.
All right, so currently, Imoro,
I'll plead with you. My Abbas comes with APPAS. So next time you do it that way for me.
Rightly so. Of course, there currently seems to be some confusion regarding the agreed percentage. Help us with the clarity, Imoro. Is it 15% or 30%?
Come again.
I'm saying currently, there remains some confusion regarding the agreed percent increase of transport fares. Others are claiming it's 15%. Others are also saying it's 30%. Help us with the clarity from GPLTU's perspective.
Yes, I thank you very much. We are not living in a lawless country. And we think about ourselves as drivers, and we think about the passengers as well. We have negotiated with government and come out with 50%. 15. Anybody who takes above that is doing a wrong thing.
All right.
Anybody who takes above 15%, that person is doing a wrong thing.
Great. I wanted to follow up on issues regarding the hikes in oil prices. Help us appreciate the impact it would have in clear terms when it comes to the price markings of transport fares in Ghana. By what percentage are you expecting transport fares to increase in the future, in the coming weeks, considering the cost of a litre of petrol possibly hitting ACD's 85 pesos in the coming weeks?
Well, we are not praying for the fuel prices to rise up or get up very fast. But when it gets to 8.8 on the litre, automatically we are going to come up with an upward adjustment.
All right.
This is all that we are saying, because it comes with spare parts, lubricants, and even documentation that will run transport with.
Imoro, we're grateful that you could join us with this update as well
welcome.
as some clarity on transport fares. Here's with the GPL to you, and shall keep an eye on this, especially when fares expected to increase this Saturday by 15% across the nation. But away from that, a 25-year-old SHS graduate at Mampontin in the Shanti region recounts how people, including members of his family, ridiculed him for venturing into skilled trade. According to Emmanuel Amamfo, most of his colleagues who also ridiculed him are now university graduates but cannot find jobs. Emmanuel nearly quit the skilled trade because of the negative comments he received from people, but now he says he is happy. JoyNews' Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin has more in this report.
Emmanuel Amamfo is a 25-year-old senior high school graduate from Mamponting in the Ashanti region. He failed to further his education to the tertiary level, but now makes a living from his established business. Though he was ridiculed by mates for not going to the university, Emmanuel is a happy man now.
Those I was staying with at Ponkrono had finished SHS and were furthering their education. They were wondering why SHS graduates decided to be an artisan instead of furthering my education. I was punctual at work, but because of continuous ridicule, I got fed up and stopped going for the training. My master usually called to inquire why I was not coming, but I lied I was sick. Most of those who discouraged me are now university graduates, but unemployed. They now see me as a better person than before. I went through a lot of challenges. Even some of my family members discouraged me, but I stood my grounds and went back to learn. The work is not easy.
Emmanuel was a business student at Mpatasia Senior High Technical School. The course perhaps helped him to develop his business idea. Emmanuel began his business 2 years ago. After 5 years of training, he raised 4,000 cedis from the money he received from his master during the 5-year training.
4,000 money started here.
I started with 4,000 cedis without support from anyone. With time, people buy our items. We get contracts from poultry farmers and they order in large quantities. That has helped my business to grow and our income has increased.
He makes cold pot, poultry feeding troughs, trunks among others from materials like used zinc.
feeding troughs, poultry feeding troughs.
We make coal pots, poultry feeding troughs, bakery materials, trunks, and metal tenor. We have people who supply us with the materials. Sometimes, if someone throws his building, we buy the leftovers materials or waste. At times, those who renovate their leaky roofs call us to buy the old materials.
And normally, in store, we be born down so. Nasi bika no afraid na waste ones near koto. Obu on so a tuni down so obu ane down na rusty leakage bi aba nchen no. Maybe a koto full house in a
good week, Emmanuel can make 3,000 cedis in sales.
Yeah, you manage to deal with others for the member. By rough estimate the week.
We deal with orders from our customers. We can make 3,000 cedis a week, and our profit is between 5,000 and 1,000 Ghana cedis. But sometimes sales can be bad.
So Juma back here by television so a bathroom. I said Juma there on and off a woman a bathroom.
The young entrepreneur has 4 apprentices and 3 casual workers, including one of his mates in senior high school. He pays them 50 cedis a day.
We are 7. 4 are apprentices and 3 casual workers. Today, some of them didn't come. That's why we are few. One of the guys was my SHS mate.
The 25-year-old does not regret the decision to be an artisan. Some mates of Emmanuel are now university graduates. Some have learned trade, while others are still struggling.
After that, I go university cry and a been so serious in Juma. If you so Namuka cracker. By any Kushia, I am an agent, energy. Yeah, you wish ya, we eat a year 10 pesos. I miss meeting me a day. Almost one yaji, almost one yaji, Majumana may and also.
Though Emmanuel would want to further his education, he does not intend to do so now.
I mean, your chance in there, if I get the opportunity to further my education, I will. But for now, I haven't planned for it. Because after school, you will still have to look for a job. Now, I am focusing on my business.
His major fear is losing his current location. I pray that my business grows and I will be able to establish a factory. Sometimes parents bring their children to be trained, but because of monetary issues among others, we are unable to engage them. For instance, the land isn't mine. If the owner comes, he will evict us. We have been evicted before from a piece of land. We don't have about 100,000 cedis to buy land for the business.
100,000.
Emmanuel feels he has accomplished a great deal in life. Instead of waiting for white-collar jobs, he urges young Ghanaians to buckle up and do something for themselves. In this modern world, you don't have to rely on someone. You don't depend on the government either. Everyone should look for something meaningful to do to plan ahead of the future. Emmanuel could probably keep going for a while on the benefits of learning to be a little more self-sufficient. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
An entrepreneur's resilience indeed. Well, let's move to other stories. The Association of Persons with Disability makes a call for innovative interventions to improve the enterprise of their members. It comes as representatives of the association met during a civil society forum to discuss the implementation and monitoring of the UN Convention on Rights of Persons with Disabilities and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. Joining us via Zoom is Adam Abdul Wahab, Programs Officer of the association. Adams, we're grateful that you could join us. What are your demands, regarding your input when it comes to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development?
Good afternoon. Thank you. I hope you are hearing me clear.
You're loud and clear, Adams.
Good. Yeah, thank you very much. When it comes to issues about disabilities, it is often an afterthought. Government stakeholders will always plan, and then before they remember that there is a section of the citizen that we needed to include. But this era, persons with disability think that we have to go beyond this and think of including persons with disability in planning, programming, implementation, monitoring, and evaluation. Ghana have ratified the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities since 2012, but not much has been done. So this year, for instance, we had the Global Disability Summit, which was hosted by Ghana government, Norway government, the International Disability Alliance, as well as African Disability Forum. And in this Global Disability Summit, our demand was that government should commit to putting programs in place to ensure that there is inclusive education for persons with disability, as well as inclusive health. And also, we were looking at government looking for creating opportunity for inclusive employment for persons with disabilities as well.
All right.
So basically, these were some of the main demands that we put before government.
Great, but Adams, even as you're calling for inclusivity in education, health, and jobs, we do know that some of your members are doing quite well, appreciably, in their various enterprises. Help us appreciate the state of enterprising persons with disability. Are they being crowded out of their own markets?
Sure. Government, civil society organizations, and individuals has actually supported for this to happen. However, what we are thinking or demanding from the government is that there are sections of the marginalized, that is the majority, persons with disabilities. Apart from those who are doing their own businesses and are faring well, there are other persons with disabilities who are qualified. They have the various levels of education with certificates and other documents to prove their competence. However, they are not employed, and some of them have to even resort to the street begging.
Indeed,
and
we could feel the burden, especially when most of you find yourself within this particular situation. You indeed calling on government to intervene. We shall follow up on that. Adam Abdul Wahab, grateful that you could join us, Programs Officer with the Association of Persons with Disability. Well, you're still watching The Marketplace, and today on Tech Business, we're exploring some websites from which startups can make money in 2022. Henry Kobler is a regular host, and he joins us for more. First of all, Henry, how lucrative is online business in 2022, and why should that be the focus of any entrepreneur?
Thank you very much, Charles. So online businesses are really growing currently because it's the major medium where a lot of businesses are able to reach a lot more audience without having to spend so much on physical structures and being able to set up themselves apart. So definitely online business is the way to go. COVID basically opened up that realization to a lot of startups. And so people are coming to that realization. A lot of the audience are also sitting online. And so they are always surfing out for product services to be able to have transactions directly. And so online basically becomes the structure where a lot of businesses really have to focus on.
Now to the meat of our discussion. Walk us through, these websites that, can make entrepreneurs much more, lucrative this year.
So businesses that are selling First of all, I could talk about Jumia. Jumia is one of the biggest marketplace when it comes down to online. What a lot of people don't know is that they could create accounts definitely on Jumia, and they could start selling as vendors. And so much of the products that you find in your shops could relatively be found on Jumia, and then you could start selling. It gives you a proper point of sale where you can just check your balances, check how many people are seeing your product. You can check how many people are engaging with your product. You can have a proper balance book on Jumia from the back end as a vendor. It gives you a lot of traffic as well, because Jumia commands a lot of marketing tools to be able to sell products. And so when you're having a product on Jumia, you sort of have some level of visibility and reputation on there. So I usually would encourage businesses, I mean, if you're looking out for one of the best marketplaces to list a lot more of your product, you could be considering Jumia. People could even look at Jumia in the sense where they could even be sales consultants or even logistics partners to Jumia. That's one of the businesses that a lot of people can start looking at in partnership with Jumia.
All right. I think now we could squeeze in the other 5 that you have for us.
Sure. So apart from Jumia, Gigi, one of the silently growing biggest classified websites. I mean, it's amazing how they're growing. They actually bought OLX, which was a competitor to Tonaton, and currently this year they've also been able to purchase Tonaton. That gives them a big leverage in terms of data on the marketplace. And so if you're looking out for a place where you could sell used products, you could advertise your product, Gigi is one of the places that you could be looking at. The next one we're looking at is Arenepa. Arenepa is a marketplace for African-inspired products. Quite a lot of the people that we find out there relatively are getting into artisan creations. They're getting into fashion, and so they could be looking at Arenepa to be selling. You can create your own shops on Arenepa and start selling with local payment systems in there. The next one I would look out for is SkillMine. So quite a lot of people have soft skills. I mean, people are designers, programmers, people are accountants. They could do quite a lot with the soft skills that they have without having to sit in people's offices. And I think the SkillMine is providing that leverage where people can now start selling their skills. And so when you're going on skillmine.africa, and definitely list your skills that are there.
You know what, and I think, you know, we could let our audiences find more for themselves when we post most of this information on My Joy Online. Henry, we're grateful for, you know, this rare information that most entrepreneurs could make do with in these uncertain times. Henry Kopla is with iSolve Africa with tech business on the marketplace. Now, the demand for spices is one that cannot be overlooked because it provides the special taste you experience in your favorite meal. But what are the varieties and how much do they cost? In today's edition of Joy Business Shopping List, Beverly Brom takes us to the market at Nima to find out prices of some spices there.
Spices is one of the ingredients that you find in every kitchen and in every food. Why? Because it gives your food the perfect taste. Reason we are at the Nima market. It's the hub of spices. We are here to find out how much your favorite spices cost. Are you ready for shopping? Let's go. Hi Zara. All right, so where do we start from?
Yeah, this is fish powder for stew, for shito. 1 cup is for 15 cedis. Yeah, the olonka is 70 cedis. Sometimes give it at 65 cedis. This one 1 cup is 5 cedis. Yes, and the olonka here is 25 cedis.
And the olonka of the turmeric is how much?
40.
40.
Yes, 40 cedis, please.
I've never seen it like this. I always
powdered form. We also have the fresh one, but ours is finished right now.
So let's do the next one.
With the aba.
Okay.
And the English name is called calabash nutmeg.
And how much is it?
For the olonka is 50 cedis. That's the big combo. It's 50 cedis. 1 cup is 10 cedis. And half is 5 cedis. This ogbono. It's a Nigerian soup. They use in preparing Nigerian soup. When you prepare it, it's like okra. Yeah, they prepare it like agushi soup.
Yeah, okay. And how much is it?
Olonka here is 70 cedis.
So if you don't want to use okra, can you use this one instead?
You can use this one instead.
Okay.
This is dried ginger. Dried ginger.
Okay.
they take the fresh ginger, then they cut it to small sizes. The olonka here is 25, 30 cedis. It was 25 at first. Now the prices have increased, so it's 30 cedis now. And 1 cup is 6 cedis.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah. This beans.
Okay.
And in the local dialect, they call it apotroma.
Apotroma. Frog. Apotro. Why?
I don't know. I don't really know why, but that's how they call it here. It's used for light soup. 1 cup is 14 cedis.
Okay. So let's do the agushi.
Yes.
How different?
We have different types.
Wait. How different is this? This one is a bit dry.
This one normally comes out like egg when you use it for the stew. This one is expensive than this one and the Chiman and the Togo. This one, the Olonka, is 50 cedis. But for this one, it's 40 cedis. This is Lagos.
Is this also from this one?
Yes, it's all the same. It's all the same. No, this is Nari. That's what they call it. It's also for soup. It's like agushi soup. Okay. Yeah. It's so like agushi soup. Agushi, you can use this, yes. Olonka is 15 cedis.
15?
15, yeah, 1.5.
Okay.
15 cedis. Margin 3 cedis.
So there you have it. It's a wrap from us here at the Nima Market, a place to discover all the different varieties of spices from different parts of the world. So anytime you want to buy spices, either for your home or for your restaurant, you know where to come to. It's the Nima Market. From the Nima Market for Joy Business, I am Beverly Broom.
And of course, I guess you could check things out there from the Nima Market. Of course, we're grateful to Beverly for this edition of the Joy Business Shopping List. We're going to be having subsequent ones, so please stay with us for that. But that's how we end the marketplace. I'm Charles Aite. Many thanks for watching.